All right, so when you are at a networking event, let's assume it's not an online event, but an in-person event, you walk into a networking event and you look around and you think, like the slide shows here, where do I start? I don't even know where to start. Well, a lot of people feel this way. Honestly, I feel this way sometimes when I walk into a room. So here's a couple of suggestions. In the room, you're going to see, like in this slide, closed twos and closed threes. You're going to see people who are standing face to face to one another. Very hard to break into that conversation. Or you're going to see people that are standing from the, view from the ceiling, like a triangle, a tight group. It's very hard to strike up a conversation with people that are standing like that. Or people might be standing like in a huddle where they're all standing around in a circle, and it's very hard to break into that. So when you walk into any networking event, what you want to look for are these: open twos and open threes. You want to see people who are standing slightly askew, so that you could just walk on up and introduce yourself. Or the open threes is more like a U shape. An open four would be larger, and five, an open group, many people, but always leaving an open spot. Look, this is a subtle but significant technique in not only knowing where to go to network when you go into a room, but if you are running a network, if you are on the leadership team of a BNI chapter, you want to make sure your members are always standing in those in-person meetings, always standing in open twos and open threes, because it's very inclusive. It makes people feel more welcome. They can step in and have a conversation. I remember once at an event that I did, I just spoke about open twos and open threes, and I then was talking to someone afterwards, and he and I were standing, and unfortunately we were standing perpendicular, and he looked at me and he said, Ivan, we're in a closed two. And I said, oh, you're right. And we opened it up, and within moments a third person comes in. He and I look at each other and we go, closed three, and we open it up. And then someone else came in. It was a 4, a 5, a 6. We kept opening and opening and opening. Finally, there were about 8 or 9 people in this circle, all talking and connecting with one another before I went to meet some other people. But that's the way it works. When you have an open 2 or an open 3, it becomes an open 4, an open 5, an open 6. And so it's a subtle technique, but it's a very effective technique. Let's go back to the very first slide. Where do I start? Now, if you look at that first slide, you'll see in the bottom left, there's an open 2. In the top right, there's an open 3. Of course, there's individuals. You can walk up and talk to individuals. Here's something that is really counterintuitive. It's hard to fathom, but it's true. For those of you who are introverts, it's actually easier to kind of slip into a larger group. If you can find an open 4 or 5 or 6, it's easy to slip in kind of unnoticed and then just slide into the conversation, easier than walking into an open 2 or even an open 3. So always look for open 2s and 3s. And if you're running a BNI chapter, always, always, always make sure that your meetings, your in-person meetings, have your members standing in open stances.